my strings making knots. Fuck with my head, make me feel down. Sometimes I feel
Welcome to the Justoid podcast. I'm your host, Justoid.
What up, baby?
And today we're joined by...
Exactly.
Where can the people find you online, my boy?
Man, I'm on Instagram, AZW Worldwide. You know it.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So, Zach, tell the people a little bit about yourself. Where you from? Where'd you grow up? Et cetera, et cetera.
It's a mouthful of a question, man.
A little closer to the mic.
Yeah. It's interesting because when I think about introductions, you know, like people start at the beginning. Some people start at like that one like switch in life kind of moment. But mine kind of started like fairly recently, if you think about it. Yeah, we were talking about it the other day in the car, I remember. I came to the United States like a couple years ago. And before that, I used to live in Kuwait. That's where my whole family is based out of. And for people that don't know, it's like a tiny little country, like the size of Illinois, like right. Well, not even the size of Illinois. I'd say the size of Chicago, right next to Saudi, like just general areas, a Middle Eastern country. And there's not much going on there to begin with. I mean, life is great, like the quality of life is amazing, but like for the kind of stuff that I was interested in, it's like
It wasn't going on.
There was no like real scene. That's what I usually tell people. It's just like there's no scene to like be a part of.
Were you still interested in the same stuff that you are now?
Yeah, I mean, to a general extent, yeah, because like I've always been like very interested in like music to begin with. That's like the root of everything. Like I kind of had like that moment.
Was American music popular over there?
I mean, yeah, on the radio for sure. But like if you ask like your like best friend at school, like, hey, what you like listen to or something, like they'd name like a couple American artists, but they're also talking about like British music and like European music, so like Italian music and Spanish music and like salsa and like to a decent extent like Latin music too. And that's so like it's pretty diverse. Like whenever you think about music in like every part of the world outside of the United States, like everyone's listening to everything. In America, most people listen to American music, you know. I mean, Adele's an exception, but
right.
You know what I mean? So that's how it was. Like at least when I was still in Kuwait, like the kind of things that I was interested in, there was like very little of, and I sort of knew like aspirationally that like America's like the spot. Like, you know, like everyone's kind of like trying to come out here and like make a life for themselves that they've kind of like imagined. So you know that was like in my head from the beginning. Although coming to America wasn't really like that simple.
What's up, guys? Justoid here to talk about a brand new podcast ad. We got Dr. Gadget. Dr. Gadget's a phone and tablet repair store with 3 locations in the suburban area. You can head up there to get your screen fixed, battery replaced, tons of services, man. They offer all types of stuff for your phone. They got screen protectors, cases, new and used devices. So what are you waiting for, bro? Head up to Dr. Gadget today. Use code RMRP or Justoid to receive $20 off a service and a free screen protector today.
I was trying to like go like do college and stuff, so I kind of like transferred over, came out here. I had a cousin that stayed out in Chicago.
You gotta get like sponsored or something?
No, not really. It's like just mostly just like apply to school. If you get accepted, then they like get you the student visa and you just go through the normal process.
Wow.
So it's a fairly simple process, but that's only specifically for school. My like hidden agenda was just like, you know, I'll come for school and then like, you know, and like make friends with all these rappers and make friends with all these musicals, blah blah blah. That wasn't the reality though. So like when I came out here, it was just, first of all, the culture shock was so sharp that like I kind of forgot about that stuff for a second. I was just like, damn, I just love everything we gotta do. Like my best friends were back home, which I mean I'm pretty sure everyone's gone through that kind of phase. Like, you know, even people from like south of Illinois are just like, I can't believe I moved out to Chicago. Yeah. My family's down in Springfield, you know? Mm-hmm. And it
I get it. I'm from Pennsylvania, bro. So
you know, so you feel that, you know? Like,
I don't get it like how you get it, but
yeah,
that's a different.
Did you have to learn English when you came here?
No, I went to English schools when I was back in Kuwait. Yeah, there are certain schools that only speak Arabic, but I didn't go to those like later on in life.
Wait, so
I spoke English before I came, basically. Yeah.
Did you grow up religious?
I'd say in the middle because like my family is religious, but like we're like a little bit more like because when it comes to religion, like usually you gotta think about like the modern aspect because certain people are like conservatively religious and they're just like stuck in the past kind of situation. But then there's certain people that are religious, but they're still like trying to live with like the modern way of life.
Well, I didn't know if because you said it was like a big culture shock, and I didn't know if like sometimes I know like religion and cultures like can dictate a lot of like how things are in that place. So
It's fair, dude. I mean, because the culture shock I was talking about was like a lot more of like the actual environment I was in. Because I'm like looking outside, I'm just like, damn, there's all these trees, bro. Like we didn't have like trees like that. Because we had like date palms, which is a tree, but it's like a very dry brown looking tree. When I stepped out of O'Hare, I'm looking at all this like greenery. I'm like, my eyes hurt. That's crazy.
Wow.
So it was like a little bit more baseline culture shock. I'm just like, every single thing I see, like, roads being on a certain side of the road and like stop signs and like people crossing on the actual like zebra crossing, like not just like jaywalking. Because we were so used to jaywalking, like the zebra crossing wasn't really a thing for us, It's things like that. Like on every step along the way, I was just like puzzled, like, what? That's crazy. But the only thing that like I was still in tune with, even before I came, was music. Music stayed consistent. That was like one of the few things that stayed consistent throughout like the big move, in my mind. So yeah, and until now, like, I do get bored with things pretty quick. I started with photography, and then I kind of sort of like got bored of it. Not to say that I was like losing interest. It was just like, at some point, a hobby kind of becomes repetitive.
Yeah.
Unless you're like really trying to push the boundary and be like a, what do you say, like a trendsetter, like some people just like want to like break the walls and be like, oh, and then I created this sound, or I created this type of visual, or
making new types of music,
making something like incredibly new. Unless you're trying to do that, a hobby's just going to stick to being a hobby, And I don't know, for me, I've always wanted to kind of like break something, like break some sort of like barrier, like think for myself and create something just purely from my imagination. That's like my big fascination. So I switched from that, and then I dabbled a little bit in music for a couple of years, and mostly just like producing. It was nothing like recording music. I was like making beats on GarageBand, and then eventually like downloaded Crack Logic, and I was just like, man, I don't even know how to act no more. Like you got every single plugin in the world, you don't know what to do now, And then the thing was like, even during those times, this was like 2019, 2021. Although I was interested in it, my friends weren't necessarily into it. My friends were like, they had like good lives, they just didn't do a lot outside of that. Mm-hmm. So like for me to like be like, yo, you wanna like hear this like new thing I made? I'll send them a wave file, and they're just like, yo, I can't open this wave, I don't know what to do, and I'm just like, I would explain it to you, but like it's just a lot. I don't know where to start with this, So it's things like that, So like my friends weren't really into it. They weren't really like trying to like be excited about something that I'd like be interested in either. So I was just like, what, it's fine. I'll just keep it to myself. Just work on it on my own. Eventually, at some point, it'll probably be useful. And then that's where kind of like video came from. Video was like the one thing that I felt like a lot of people, even if you're not really into the process, like if you see a good piece of video, you're just like, damn, that's cool. You don't really care about how it was made. All you care about is if that thing looks cool, it definitely interests you.
Yeah.
And so I kind of found like that common ground with a lot of people around me. And that's where I'm at right now. I've like spent like about like a year, maybe 2 years actually, doing video. Like,
so when did you come out here in America? 2017?
17, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 24 now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 24 now.
So you finished high school out here?
So you were 16 when you moved out here?
16 and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I finished high school in Kuwait, and then I moved out for college. Yeah.
You finished high school at 18 here.
I know, it depends for us too, because like if you start like 6 months early, you might be like a whole year behind at school. So like it's vice versa. So I think I was like a little early to school, so I finished early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's some of your favorite link-ups, or your favorite collabs since you've been out here? Who was your first?
I remember my first though. It was like during this transition phase when like 2017, 16. There was this one guy that I'd seen his stuff on Instagram that lived out in Chicago, like downtown Chicago, on the suburbs or something. And I saw his stuff and I was just like, oh shit, I can't wait to like go take pictures of this guy and like hit him up and stuff. And I was still young, so I was just like kind of nervous about it. I was like, I don't even like know this stuff out there. I'm like moving in a month. I don't know if I should hit him up and like set something up. So I still took the fall. I just like sent him a message. He got back to me. He was just like, yeah, dude, that's cool. And he wasn't like really big or nothing. He was just like 5,000-6,000 followers, but like I liked his stuff. And I hit him up, and then when I came out here, I was just so lost that like I kind of fell through. But then one like day after a couple months, he hit me up and he was just like, yo, you wanna link up? And I was just like, sure, dude. So we linked up in Chicago, and that was like my first time going to Chicago too. and his name was Fern, but he doesn't like do photography anymore. He kind of like went religious. He's kind of like off social media.
He went religious?
Religious, yeah. It was interesting, but I was like, you know what, you do your thing, man.
What? Like God?
Like God, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, you know, he was like super like religious, and like he was like going to church, and he was trying to like, I know he was like going through stuff in his life later on that I kind of like learned later. But then at the moment, it was just like, oh my God, I finally got to like link up with somebody like the actual way like most people do. But then my first link up kind of like just went off their own paths, and I couldn't really learn much from them in person. Yeah, that was like my first one in America though. That was a
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
I mean, the people I started making music with, none of them even make music anymore. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
why AZW?
Well, why do people call you Zach too?
yeah, well, my government name's pretty long. That's the main thing you gotta know. It's like 4 separate words, so it was like always very difficult to explain to people. And I was telling him just a couple minutes ago, like explaining it at government offices is like a real pain, because I'd go to the DMV and be like, hey, I'm trying to get this thing renewed, and they'd be like, okay, what's your first name? I gotta tell them 2 words that are like 7-8 characters long. They're like, are you sure this is your first name? Like, what? I just told you what my first name is. Like, what are you asking me questions for? So yeah, well, my government name is Khatib Reyes Zulfikar Ahmed, which is like my full name, no spaces, nothing. But I always wanted to like have an acronym that was chill for people. Nothing like Sam or like Rocky, you know. I didn't want it to be like
Sam or Rocky.
Because like I hear so many people, especially immigrants.
Rocky's not an acronym for anything.
No, not as an acronym, just like a made up name. Because I knew a guy that was called Rocky, and I was just like, man, you don't look like a Rocky at all. What's your actual name, you know?
You met a real guy named Rocky?
It was like his made up name.
Oh, okay.
And his actual name was something else, like crazy, you know? So I just didn't want it to be like something that everyone used, but I wanted it to make sense. So I just like shortened my name, and it just comes out to be Zach. So it's like, cool. And the whole AZW thing is like, it's a deep, completely like off the rail story. Well, AZW is just like a little thing that I came up with when I was like doing photography. It was just like something to separate myself from. And eventually that just like stuck for so long that I just made that like a brand thing. I didn't really want to give it a meaning or anything. I just said AZW is the name of the brand. End of story, you know? I had like this whole character makeup and stuff and shit going on when I was doing photography. Because I did like a lot of self-portraits too. It was like I was kind of like the subject of my photography. So that's where it came from. And eventually once I like let go of photography, sort of, I kind of still stuck onto that name so that it was easy for me to like put other stuff out. So like if I put music out, if I put some beats out, don't look it up. Like I put it under like AZW, and you know, and that was the artist name. So when I do the videography, like it's directed by AZW, so it makes like some sort of like uniform name carrying on.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get it completely.
Zach is gonna be our editor for RMRP going forward. We kind of had a lapse with the pod. Life happens. You know, we're not blessed enough to do this full time, but you know, we're working on it. So he's our editor now. And with that being said, I'd like to know a little bit more about some of your favorite projects that you've edited. I saw you working over there before we started.
Yeah.
Obviously, you did KB's new video, Real Rapper. Go check that out.
Yeah.
And yeah, tell me
KB
more.
was, I think, like 3 videos ago. Yeah, that's fairly recent. Yeah, well, I think my favorite project is the one I'm working on right now, and this sounds like a plug, but I'm not.
It's with Pasty?
Yeah, it's my video with Pasty. All the videos before this that I've done with Pasty have all been like a little bit more straightforward, you know, like we filmed
Run and
like
gun
a
type
run and gun shot. Like there was 2 videos that we did with a bit of story, but those were a bit more complicated because you're thinking about like some sort of consistency. You're trying to actually bring that out as a story on the video, not just like something, you know, that doesn't make sense. Most of them have been run and gun, but this one specifically, like I was trying to dabble a bit more in like 3D animation and stuff. Because like you know how Yeats videos were in the beginning with like crazy animations and just like stupid transitions, you know,
Yeah.
lean cups flying in the background. And yeah, Joey came up with the idea, and he was just like, man, you wanna like check out this track I made? And he played the song for me, and I was like, whoa, what is like going on? You know, this is like something that he doesn't usually make, but it was a fire track. So I was just like, if you wanna put this out, then we have to put a visual that like matches the level of crazy in the song. And like me and Basie have like this connection. Like he might like murmur a certain idea, and I can just translate it and like give it to him. Like, okay, are you talking about like these kind of shots? And it's just like, that's exactly what I was thinking. So we're working on this project. It's probably gonna come out this weekend. So yeah, that's the one I'm excited for, because there's a lot of stuff that I tried for the first time, especially today. Like this morning is literally when I figured it out. I was like trying so hard to like understand how do I put these 3D assets into this video without like making it look corny or like amateur, because every video I've tried to make sure, even if it's like a simple thing or a simple edit that I'm learning for the first time, I just make sure that it looks crispy enough that when I look back to it, it's not like, oh shit.
Some people can make that shit look real. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to get to that level.
CGI shit.
You know?
The Yeet videos, the Juice WRLD, the posthumous Juice WRLD videos, like Burn, all with the world on fire and shit, the meters coming through. Like, it's obviously not real.
That's what I'm saying. Like people are really like, the funny thing is, some people assume that like if you throw money at the editor, you can make that shit happen. But like sometimes, dude, the editor has to have like a really solid vision. Yeah. Like he just needs to know that I can do this better than anyone else that you can like probably throw money at, and just like hit them up and like get that project done. So I'm trying to be like in that space. I'm trying to like nail it after like trying it like the right way.
If you want to get a fucking music video done, if you want to get a photo shoot done, I've now learned shit, any editing, anything of the sorts. You go to concerts, you shoot concerts?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I go to concerts lately, a lot more than shooting them, but I'd love to shoot a concert again.
Well, you know what business I'm in. So.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I love the RMRP hoodies, man. You guys rep it all the time.
Thanks.
Hey, speaking of which, I'm probably gonna get one of them from you, cause like I'm trying to put that shit on too.
Shit, I'm gonna owe you one soon. Don't worry. Don't worry about buying it. Yeah. Head over to Justoid.com for all your merchandise. Head over to my YouTube channel, Justoid, for the rest of the episodes, music, features from Davey. Shit. You wanna plug anything, my boy?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you already heard it. Justoid's the man. This guy's been doing so much for the scene for so long. If you want to go check out some of the projects I'm working on, the one I talked about in this podcast, go check out the links on my Instagram page. It's AZW Worldwide. It's AZW Worldwide. So there's 2 W's there. Also, remember, if you guys are trying to learn stuff videography related, and I'm not plugging myself in right now, I'm just giving advice. Make sure to go do the research yourself before you ask somebody, because sometimes the person you might be asking is probably giving you advice from their like half-ass knowledge, and you might not get the right answers. Make sure to do the research yourself. You'll figure it out. Trust me, everything's out there. You just gotta look for it. Peace.
Yes, sir. AZW Worldwide on Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube too. I just made that recently, but yeah, I've been putting director's cuts in there. So on YouTube, same thing. AZW, just search it up. You'll find some videos.
We'll link it all below.
For sure.
And from me and the whole entire RMRP Stoid team, stay up, stay blessed, and stay safe. Peace.